Hi guys, I want to talk about some prestiges. Some prestiges that may be useless. So let's start commander by commander. So first we have Raynor, Backwater Marshal, good. Third, Rebel Raider, good. This is a top bar prestige. Rough Rider, okay. Night after burners additionally increase attack speed by 100%, cooldown reduced by 50%, and disadvantages that units no longer cost less. Ignite after burners cost 10 life and its movement speed bonus is reduced to 50%. It's actually like mech steam pack, but that speed bonus reduction. I don't know. I think that they could just leave it because well, units don't no longer cost less. That's bad enough, and that they cost 10 lives. So I don't know. I tried this prestige. I think even on a public test realm when it was, but uh, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe on Oblivion Express if you want to go back and forth. And but it's not totally useless. It may be used in some situations, but definitely Backwater Marshal and Rebel Raider and even vanilla P0 Raynor are better. Kerrigan all three prestige is good. Malevolent Matriarch is Malevolent Matriarch perhaps the worst, but it can for sometimes like and with and synergized with some commanders like well Zerg commanders, especially like Stukov and okay can be good, and with Abatur because Abatur then has then you have the both the creep and Omega, although Kerrigan players want to have this thing available because if you need it that second you can like ally please here please there, you need it right there right now, but in some occasions when it's not so hectic for Kerrigan to run around, well a nature can be used. Folly of Man excellent prestige, Desolate Queen also pretty good. So this thing Artanis also all prestigious Valorous Inspirator is primarily for the psionic units for High Templar Archons. Nexus Legate, of course, for long maps when you max out and then like missed opportunities, especially, and then to have mobility. Archship Command and beside fast leveling on Cradle of Death and Brutal plus 6 is also very good prestige. Those Archons are actually really good, and Shield Overcharge. It's also some people consider the best Artanis prestige. I didn't play it yet so much. I actually played it just only once I think on Oblivion Express, and it was really good. Okay, so that's Artanis 1. Okay, some commanders I don't have all prestiges yet, but okay, Heavy Weapon Specialist is really good. It was for the last week's mutation, for example. Some maps like on Dead of Night, really good, and especially okay, lot of uses. I don't have to count anything. Grease Monkey, maybe for some mutators that affects units and not structures that could be used. It's not useless. Okay, Payload Director also can have some uses. Yeah, if you don't wanna rely too much on top bars, can be good especially for good players who are fast to have army, and yeah, that's well, the director can be good. Then we have Zagara, also all prestigious good. Scourge Queen, Mother of Constructs, Sacred Predator, all have uses. Warzone. Okay, Warzone. I'm not so. I didn't try it, and I'm not so good with Warzone as some other commanders. So, but of this thing can can be of use, especially like on Vermilion problem when you don't want your stuff to go into lava. Uh, then although also recall is great on that map, but well, you have to live with it. Withering Siphon. So yeah, that can also be of use, especially against smaller and any composition with smaller units like Ground Zerg, or ground smaller units like Zerg, Terran Buy or so. Um, Keeper of Shadows, that's very useful to have Shadow Guard available every time you time stop. That's really useful. Okay, so Karax, they did really good job with the Karax. So we have one structure prestige, one unit prestige, and one Spear of Adun prestige. All very useful in specific situations. And I don't know if anybody will ever play actually normal Karax again, because it kinda makes normal Karax kinda useless. So now normal Karax is useless. I don't know, maybe normal Karax would be useful in some situations. I can think of any right now. Okay, well, let's return this to Solarite. So if I grind prestiges with somebody, to not to forget. Okay, so now we have Abatur. Now we get to the Abatur. Normal Abatur, if you want to go air, like if you want to go classic Abatur, like for Brutalists, then Leviathans, then add some, I don't know, Vipers, Devourers, then Evolution Master is the best. Essence Hoarder. Okay, Essence Hoarder is clearly an Essence Prestige, like Biomass Prestige, and should be Biomass Hoarder. So, not to be confused with the Haka. So, combat units can hold an additional 25 biomass and have an additional 50% chance to drop their biomass upon death, and ultimate evolutions are unavailable. That's good. I mean, if you have a mutator like Black Death, but then again, fully biomass, like 100 biomass is enough to keep units healthy, keep unit not to drop HP with the mutator. So so the swarm hosts are a lot better than on Tunneling Horror than Essence Hoarder. Okay, but if you like wanna do like mass mutalist, if you have Black Death or something, you don't wanna use Ultimate Evolutions, then if you go mass mutalist, then this could be a good prestige, because mutalists are very fragile on biomass, and have to them to have more biomass is certainly valuable. But I must advise you here that this thing is still bugged, and now that Blizzard kinda gave up. I hope they didn't give up completely. I hope that next week they will soon have patch with new mutations, because now there wasn't a patch yet, and this mutation is expiring in 3 days. So I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know when and if this bug will be fixed. So the bug is that I think some 30 to 40% units can get past 105 biomass. Most units get 125, but some can't get past 105. Okay, so for the Ravagers, it's great. If you go just mass Ravagers, they will cost more gas, but Ravagers are not very gas heavy, so it's better to use tunneling core because you have mobility, you have deep tunnel damage. That's a great thing, having mobility with cooldown just what, 20 seconds? No, I think 30 seconds. Yeah, I think Zagara P3, Zagara Apex Predator is 20 seconds cooldown. This is 30, but that's good. 30 seconds. Like, it's not like brutal. It's 10 seconds, but 30 seconds, pretty fine. Okay, so and about swarm hosts. Now I'll soon make a I video about that. So I won't talk about this here. I consider tunneling core actually the best abattoir prestige, and now we got to the limitless. For me, as you can see, abattoir is my favorite commander, and limitless, as you see, I did I think 34, no more, 37 or 54 I think, and I still didn't do limitless. I think this prestige I will do the last because it's totally worthless. They did essence hoarder, which is kind of okay, like essence prestige, biomass prestige, and they should do the limitless the opposite. So you have, but they screwed the two main abattoir strengths, and one is ultimate evolutions, and by ultimate evolutions I mean having them fast, because in the limitless you can't have brutalist fast because you need double the amount of biomass for it. And they screwed the biomass power, which is faster attack, faster energy regeneration, and what's in my opinion probably the best, that's the life leech. So ultimate evolution requires 200 biomass, and biomass is less powerful, so this prestige is totally useless, and they should probably remove biomass power totally and just and leave the ultimate evolution requirement at 100 biomass. Okay, maybe 120, like top, but they should, so you don't have like queens that can super heal you because they can collect biomass. You don't have other units that can collect biomass and become stronger. It will be totally the prestige about the ultimate evolutions. I think it's fair because ultimate evolutions don't have biomass fire, they don't have life leech, they don't heal themselves by attacking enemies, and that means that in some harder mutations they can suffer for it, and it's some occasions a lot better to have some ravagers than and units like vipers with biomass power than just amassing the ultimate evolutions, because have like mutations like never say die. Never say die, that was like a year ago or so, that was on missed opportunities, and it was just die, barrier and life leech. So if you have for example an immortal, that has double life, that has barrier, which grants him an additional 100 HP, and it has a life leech, and immortals do a lot of damage, so the life leech is pretty significant with immortals, and that kind of immortal one-on-one brutalisk versus that kind of immortal doesn't have a chance. And another thing is that immortals do 150% bonus against armored units, which brutalists are. So yeah, the brutalists will be shredded pretty fast, and in that kind of situation you need biomass power. Okay, so that was Abatur. Let's go further. Alarak. Alarak, okay, I've just leveled yesterday, I think, no, 2 or 3 days ago, yeah, the last prestige. So, Artificer of Souls can be useful, but personally I like to have Alarak's abilities. I don't know, it's on longer maps, it's also for longer maps when you can produce a lot of supplicants, and you can mine a lot of minerals for a significant amount of time to actually start seeing these the effects of this prestige. Okay, not useless, but nothing special, I think. Yeah, on missed opportunities could be good, perhaps, and some mutations. Terra Transcendent, okay, that's for maps that you don't need a lot of mobility, and when for guys that like to utilize Alarak the most, it's kinda okay, prestige, not useless, but nothing special also. And then we get the Shadow of Death, which is one of the strongest, if not the strongest prestige in the game. Okay, you have to be careful. Similar as with the Folly of Man Carrigan, you have to be careful because those destroyers are not very tanky. So storms, when you have like enemy like Sky Terran, it's kind of pretty bad actually, because you have Yamatos, you have hitting them, you have those seeker missiles. That is pretty hard to dodge when you have a lot of clumped up destroyers. And also that red thing that they fire makes like okay, if you fight, I think it's actually good that if you fight a Sky Terran or something like this, to change the color from the Halarax, that red color, to some else to actually be able to spot which of your destroyers is targeted with a seeker missile. And also Thor's, even Goliaths can be pretty devastating to those things, but Shadow of Death is nevertheless strong prestige, and I recommend power mid duration, because don't lose your mothership. I mean, mothership is 1000 HP, 1000 shield, so you don't want to lose the mothership. Okay, that's Alarak. Nova also. All three prestiges very good. Soldier of Fortune excellent, because if you wanna like mass liberators, that's great for some maps like Oblivion Express. It's fantastic. Even massing bio against some enemy compositions and some mutations, some missions can be very good. Or massing like factory units, like going for tank Goliath. Those are also great Nova's units. So Soldier of Fortune, a great one. Tactical Dispatcher, okay, for mobility, that's always good, always can be used in some situations. And Infiltration Specialist, that can be useful in a lot of situations, like for Dead of Night, where Nova can practically clean the map herself while you defend with tanks and liberators, and some mutations, like she's super cloaked, so propagators can see her, or the kill bots, boom bots, and similar stuff. Okay, and yeah, but trickiness here is that you can't use Nova to actually to fight. Nova is not fighter here. You can't switch to her to combat suit and like fight, especially if you have a Zerg enemy, and so yeah, all those are good. Then we have Stukov, Frightful Flesh Welder, again one of the strongest prestiges the game, rivaling the Dead Fleet. Yeah. Plague Warden, I don't know, okay. Lord of the Horde, also great prestige. Those two are really great. Black Warden, I don't know. I didn't try it yet. I didn't level it on this prestige, so I actually didn't play one game with it. But then again, for the guys who are good, who are good at micro, who are good at playing this game in general, then perhaps they could have a good use of this prestige. Then again, these two are a lot better. And Vanilla Stukov can also be good on maps like, but I don't know, because on a map like on a map like Dead of Night, it's best to actually use Frightful Flash Welder, because tanks provide a lot more value than the compound. So, and you have bunkers, nothing changed for bunkers, just you don't have compound, and tanks can provide a lot more value here than a compound. But now when we speak, this week's mutation is actually good for the vanilla Stuka, because you need bunkers. Okay, bunk. But no, actually here also you also have bunkers. Compound is not much valuable here. So I don't know. Maybe in some occasions when you have like bunkers, we need bunkers for the defense and also for the push. I mean, they still spawn infested troopers, but not nearly as many as the Lord of the Horde. So in some occasions, maybe you can still use infested admiral, but yeah, prestiges are really great. The mech one and the horde one, the infested one, and perhaps even this. I don't know. Didn't yet try, but I don't. It's not completely useless like limitless, but okay. Phoenix. Okay, I think I want to talk about the Phoenix. I think there is a use in all of these prestiges, but Phoenix is my least known commander. I mean, I have it mastered, I play some games, but I won't talk about Phoenix. Let's see, a magic protocol effectiveness. Okay, I don't know. I'll skip Phoenix. I think all of these can be used, but I don't have it leveled. I didn't use them. And this list. Okay, so we have the Haka, the Warwick one, good. The Warwick one, good. You change your master is the word about duration. You leave this as it is. I think gene mutation chance may be good here. It's okay. It's kind of unit-based prestige, so synergy prestige, because between the Haka and units, but not for the soul of the Haka. And so if you gonna normal lock and load, then I think Primal Pack Leader is still good, because if you use Primal Contender, then you don't. I mean, you don't need units for this map. Like you go normal lock and load when you use Primal Contender. Then if you fight without Pack Leader, when you push on the one side, the enemy wave comes for the other lock. You can't use the Haka, because only one Pack Leader is available at the time, and the Haka is not available at the time. So yeah, I think it's this is still good. I mean, Primal Pack Leader. I like this one actually still the best, but the Warwick one and Primal Contender all have their uses. But Brood Brother, if they would share the essence, then it would be great, because you could like push with one the Haka, and microing to the microing one the Haka is enough, but microing two, I mean, you could like push with one, leave the other at home to defend. Okay, maybe you can still do it in some situations. It can be like that. Or if you have like, you can eat two hybrids with a threat to you, two big threats at once. Okay, maybe. but I don't know. I kind of don't like this Brood Brother Prestige. If they would share SN, that would be great. But then again, it wouldn't be disadvantages because you can just push with one Dehaka and leave the other at home, and if one dies, dies the other. But one is always safe, so you know. So I don't know. I didn't level it yet because I know I don't like this much. Then we have what? We have Han Horner. Chaotic Power Couple, very useful prestige for mirrors units. Like if you go Dead of Night, then Chaotic Power Couple, you just make platforms. Platforms are not affected. You still have them for the same money with same effectiveness, and mirrors units actually. I mean, you have faster mag mines, and you have better death effects on the width of mines, which are mineral dump. So you help your ally defend, and you do your thing with platforms, with precision strikes, and also in a lot of other maps. I mean, some people don't even like Hornet units, use mostly mirrors, so yeah, it's definitely a good prestige. Okay, this was a Horner's prestige, so if you like to go air, it's good to. Galactic Gun Runners is one of those useless prestiges. I tried to think of one use, but I actually can't think of one good use of these Galactic Gun Runners, because I mean, if you go on Dead of Night, you need platforms fast, not a lot of them. And second thing is, if you realize Swan, which is good to have, I mean, Swan defends, if you have some mutations, Swan is a good defender, defense, and Han Horner does the precision strikes. So you certainly won't get them fast if you need 100% more resources for them. Then again, you won't be able to help ally defend so effectively, because you don't have faster magmas, you have quicker on that effects, so width of mines. So and the other issue is, I mean, guys, if you have Swan ally, actually any other ally, but especially Swan has a laser drill, needs at least one factory, needs a lot of supply depots. Han Horner also needs some supply depots, okay, double less because they provide double the supply. Then you need at least one armory as a Swan. You need a engineering bay for turret upgrades. You need a place where you will actually place your turrets and tanks. You may need a starport if you get like spotters. You have Terran enemies, because Ghost can outrage the static defenses, so you need them in order not to get nuked. You may need some cyclones also if you get spotters. So, I mean, with 10 platforms, and plus of course Han Horner's structures like armory, engineering bay, fusion core, 10 platforms, it's already a crowd. And if you have more than 10, now where would you put those things? I mean, it would be a hell of a mess, and you don't need them. I mean, you can end the game before the third night easily with just 10 platforms, trend strike platforms, if you know how to use them. Okay, so Galactic Gun Runners, the second, in my opinion, totally useless prestige. Then we have Tychus. Technical Recruiter, great prestige. I mean, especially for serious. His turrets, Tychus's Outlaw's abilities are great, and if you can use them more often, or if you go Vega, you go Vega and you can steal more units, make a bigger army for yourself, especially if you go just like Protoss or Terran compositions with big units like battle cruisers or so, doors. Great prestige. Lone Wolf, OP almost. I mean, it requires more map awareness and more micro faster reactions. Change from one outlet to the other, but it's ludicrous prestige. One of those, alongside Kerrigan, Folly of Man, and Stukov's two prestiges and Dead Fleet. It's one of those best prestiges. Dutiful Dog Walker. I don't know if it was like it was when it was first launched, or it was just on a public test realm. I don't know, but the first it was that you have initial cooldown, and once you drop Odin, you have it all the time. Like, it wasn't like this is Odin no longer requires technical power. Its duration is increased by 100% and its cooldown is reduced by 40. Okay, so you can have Odin a lot, but not all the time. So I don't know if it's it can be useful against some, especially because if you because of how the revitalizer works. The revitalizer heals in percentage or all health. So if you have upgraded to, okay, let's say on level 3, that it would because Odin also increased in each point. Let's say it has like 3000 HP. 3000 HP is nice, and with upgraded revitalizer, it really makes, if you need a tank, then you have a tank and that Odin. But in most cases, the nuke would be better, and so I don't know. Dutiful Dog Walker maybe in some occasions, but not very useful. Zeratul, all three are useful. Anak San can be useful in some situations. Then Knowledge Seeker, of course, too. You have to run around with Zeratul more, but then you have stronger things. I mean, this is especially for cannons, because cannons don't cost more, just combat units. So if you do a strategy where you just spam cannons and observers, because observers are not combat unit, they cannot fight. I mean, Zelnaga Watchers. So yeah, for cannon observer strategy, it's really good prestige. But even for units, because often with Zeratul you max out, you don't lose much units, you don't lose many units. So yeah, it's a Knowledge Seeker is great prestige. And Herald Void, so-called spin to win Zeratul, it's also good, especially for smaller maps when you can practically hero solo. Then we have Statman. Okay, Signal 7 can be used. But Best Body is one of the greatest prestiges in the game. Also, I like it the most. I didn't yet level Old Baron, but it's kind of unit prestige, so it also has uses. Signal 7. No, actually, Signal 7. Maybe on Dead of Night, if you're like if you are using infestors, then you have all the zone, don't have to worry about enemies destroying the zone, so you can just change the zones as you need. Well, I can't actually think of any. Maybe if you have like if you have Void Rifts. But against Void Rifts, okay, then you have to, yeah, an ally can actually fight hard because well, you will suffer for not having a strong, not having a super Gary. But okay, it's not useless. It's not useless. Single 7, but I think both these are better. Again, I didn't yet test Oil Baron, but Best Body is definitely the best. Okay, and Arcturus, Toxic Tyrant. Again, I have just Toxic Tyrant. Toxic Tyrant is useful, especially on Rifts on Core Hull. Door splitting of mission objectives, Principal Proletariat. It is useful. And they can actually get once you have these guys, they can actually generate a ton of mandates. So yeah, it is pretty useful for the Royal Guard Prestige. And Merchant of Death. Merchant of Death is okay. Didn't test how actually powerful those weapons are. But okay, if you wanna have like play it like Zagara, have it your troopers like Banelings, it is okay. But the most useful this is on Dead of Night because those weapons are cheaper. Like they have a good mineral to gas balance, 40 minerals to 20 Vespine gas instead of how much? I think it was 160 minerals. Yes, so you have you're always on the back foot with minerals when using these guys to defend on Dead of Night. So and then you place them in bunkers, and in bunkers they are safe. They won't die there. So yeah, that's really good to use. And so this is it. So I think actually that Abatur's Tunneling Horror, and to resume what I just said, Tunneling Horror and Galactic Gun Runners are totally useless. There are some prestiges that can be used maybe some occasions, but not often. And of course there are some like Folly of Mine Kerrigan, like Shadow of Death Alarak, like actually first and third Zagara's Prestige, like first and third Stukov Prestige, and what else, like Tychus, Lone Wolf, and Stetman's Best Body. They are really great prestiges. Okay, comment if you have something to add, if you tested some of these prestiges that I didn't, so you may correct me, or you think that I said something wrong about the prestiges that I already have. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but then Abatur, I think that's my opinion is absolutely 100% correct, and also about this thing about this Galactic Gun Runner stuff, and I mean others, I don't know, but I'm 100% sure that those two are totally useless. Okay, thanks for watching.